Okay, so I wanted to start ask this question from the very beginning of the class. Unfortunately, my network has been frustrating me. I just joined the class, but I want to know through this framework that you gave us to do. I got to realize that I don't understand when to use a div, and when you say section, like that tag there, what does it really mean? So those are my
Okay,
two questions.
well, thank you so much. Now, on the section is a container just like div. Section and div are block level containers. So they do the same thing. It's just those are containers that you know. So section is so instead of because I know that I could have just a name convention. Instead of having a div inside a section, I know that I have a lot of sections, different sections. So what I decided to do is, okay, let me divide this and use on each of this, each part I'm supposed to work on. Each section, like the navigation section, the hero section, I'm going to use section tag for it. Then inside, because I have some that has up and down, left and right, or there are many, those ones I could use div to separate it. So that was what I did, which is the best way to instead of having it's called nesting. You can put tags inside the tag when you are having different tags inside. It's called nesting. So what I did is using sections. You just section and div are the same thing. So section is at least sounds more, you can relate it more when you hear section, okay, this is section. Division, division, okay, this is this. So what I did actually is to use on each of the key sections. That's for where I have the hero section, the other part I have for products, for programs, I used sections for each of them. Then inside those sections, I now use divs to do both the left and right part of and every other divs section I needed to do inside there. So that is a better way of structuring it. Do I answer your question? Did I answer your question?
Um, so not completely, sir. I now understand the part of section that is just a naming convention. It works almost the same as div. It's the same. Both of them are block elements. Okay, so now when do I use a div? Like from what I
When
was seeing, yes, sir. You were saying
I
something,
said,
sir.
are you asking when should you use a div and when should you use a
Yes,
section? Okay,
yes.
okay. Like I said, if you have different, because you could use your div multiple times. There's also another tag that is called men, men is another container tag, just like section. So now all these things are name convention. So if I have different sections of different things I'm supposed to do. So I have the footer section, I have the product section, I have the program section. Now, if I use div inside it, if I use div as the parent, as the parent folder, as the parent container, what happens? If I now use section inside that div, whenever I visit that code, I will be confused. One, because I'll be like, what is section? I would anytime I see that section tag, I would think that's where the session is starting. You get. So in order not to have that, I use section to differentiate. Once I see anytime I see a section tag, that means that's a beginning of a new section. Then because I know that I will be using div in inside of those sections because there are some the part of in the layouts there are some part that have left and right, and inside those left and right contains other divs inside there. So in order to arrange your work very well, you know where that's when you use for section, if I have like okay, this top parts for the navigation, I just use a header called use the tag called header tag. Header tag is also a name convention container too. So it just meant you once you hear header, you know that this should be for the top side. Then when you call the footer tag, use it for the down part so that once you glance on your code, you already know, okay, this is my footer, this is my header. This section is the first section. So at the anytime I see an opening section tag, I know that this is a beginning of a new section. That's well, if I see divs, I know that okay, this should belong to one of the components, either the left side or the right side. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So who else? Let's see who else is. All right. Dan, Danga. Danga, can you go ahead with your question?
Alright, so my question is, how do you get to how do you get to arrange those home about worker programs chronologically from one line to another? Then now I got confused. These buttons, how do you get to create that box that to get the buttons, those things inside the button like sign up and the rest? I really got confused somewhere.
Okay, okay. So now for button, there is a tag. I think I need to give it assignment. I skipped two assignment. One is basic structure of a HTML file. Then the second one should be give me. But we did it in during the class where we mentioned some of the tags that we know. So that was why I asked that we could actually see our know what how many tags that we have a lot of tags. So button is a tag. Once you is a tag that signifies that is a button. So once you that it gives you once you it gives you your button by default shows that what's the content that you are putting there is a button. Just like if you use an a tag, so a tag shows you by default shows that what you're adding there is a link. So that's the same thing that happens when you fix it that way. So some tag has a specific rule, just like when you use a b tag specifies that document that you are trying to add, the tag, whatever element or content within that tag is going to be a strong one. So that's for that. Then so then for the other part where you have the the other part where you have any button. So now whenever you're using a tag, you know when you are using a container tag and is a specific tag, each tag has its own specification what it does. So which helps you to know what you are supposed to do. So now going back to the assignment that was given, going back to the assignment that was given, you will have now just like what Suleiman is sharing on her screen. Now let's use what she's sharing on her screen to give a sample. Now looking at this thing, you are seeing what are you seeing? You are seeing four different sections. You have
Sorry, sir, I can't see your screen.
not mine. Okay, let me share my screen instead. Let me share my screen. I think well. Now I want to show you layouts, different layouts. I'm going to show different layouts because the thing is that it goes back to what do you see? That's the question. What do you see? When you see, what do you actually see? So if you have, I have two, how do I stack? Now, let's say I have 10 cartons of noodles. How do I arrange it to fit in into a passage?
Please, if you're sharing your screen, I can't see your screen.
Okay, I've not started sharing my screen.
Okay.
Yes, I said I asked the question. If you have 10 cartons of noodles, how how are you supposed to how how are you supposed to arrange it? How are you supposed to
I
arrange?
I I think I'll stack them up like
How
one
will you
against
start?
another.
If you start 10, if you stack 10, don't you think that there's going to be an issue? Are you with me?
Okay,
Yes, yes.
can I answer?
Okay.
So, if you want to stack 10 cartons of Indomie, you first of all place 4, and on top of the 4, you place 3, then 2 and 1 on top.
Okay. You said you place four, then three.
Yes. Mhm.
Now,
2 and 1. No, it's one 4.
how you just arrange it? Three, four, three, two, and one. Now, that's the same way you should when you are working with your layouts, web structure. That's the same way you are supposed to arrange it. The same way that you stack the 10 cartons in order not to fall and it will look presentable so that you can also be able to count it if you are trying to take an inventory of it. Okay, now let's take an example of bricks. You have 24 bricks. How will you arrange 24 bricks to be in a square format, like horizontally? Yes, I need answers. Someone should answer. How will you arrange 24 bricks? Am I the only one in the class?
Okay, if you are to arrange 24 bricks horizontally, that would be 6 bricks per row to make up for 24 bricks. That's if you're arranging it horizontally.
If you want to rest it like you have to, they said arrange it in a way that four on each row is going to be four. Arrange it on each row going to give you four. How will you do that?
You have 6 columns and then 4 rows in each.
So you have 6 column and one row. So I'm going to I'm going to go over this code again, and for the sake of those that didn't understand, I believe you all can see my screen, right?
No,
Yes,
I
I
can't.
can see it.
Yes, just hold on.
So, so please, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
I don't think he's talking. I think he's trying to share his screen.
Oh, okay.
As me, I can't hear him from my end. Please let me just say this now. Please, if you are here, please put down your name for attendance, please.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I believe you all can hear me now.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'm going to recap on what we did so that we could. So, sorry. So can you all see my screen now?
Yes, I can see it from my end. I can see it from my end.
Yes, I
Oh,
can see your screen now.
all right. So
I can see it also.
yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to repeat every section that what we did in our last class. We we first created the file, called it index.html. Then the first thing we wrote was to create document declaration, our document declaration, which is doc type HTML. Then then we created a parent div. So from the first question I received today, you only have a HTML one HTML tag, which is the root file. Then the next we have is our head section, which inside our head section, we have our metadata for the viewpoints where we did set for our responsiveness and all that. Then we have the title of our site, which shows on the title bar, which I explained. Now I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to ask a question. What is this header section? that is written here. What is it called? That is in green color.
That's
It's
the
a comment.
comment.
It's a
Okay.
comment.
So why
The comment.
It's a comment.
why is it called a comment?
Because it just for you to know what you're doing. It won't really appear on your browser, or yes, on your browser. It won't appear the other side of the browser. It only for you to know, you the programmer, to know that okay, this is what you're doing. This is it. This is it. This is it.
Okay, so we add comment for easy readability so that anybody that comes in this code could understand what is happening. So now the first thing I have is my header section. The header section, which is what I have. Now from the design I had, we had left and right. So what I did, I created another tag called nav, so which is just like another div. So what I did, we had, like I said, we had two things, the left and the right. So we had on the left side, we had the logo. The reason we don't add logo yet is we don't know how to add image to our site. So we use Word, just type logo here because we don't know how to add image. Then on the right hand side, we created our navigation where we had under created a navigation, we use an unordered list the item, then we now use each of the list has an anchor tag and anchor tag and a href showing the destination. So we have a home, about, workout programs, recipes, stores. These are on the left right hand side of our layout. So that's for, and we rounded up, wrapped up this header section. Now on the on the on the hero section, we had we had two things, or the left side and the right side. On the left side, we had we had other companies. Then on the right side, we had an image, which stated the image on the right side. Then on the left side, we have the first write up, which is make sure. Then the second one. Now looking at the from header one to header six. Header one, hedge one shows is the highest in size. Then H2 followed by H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So I had to, because make the first word, make here, is smaller than the body shape. So I had to use H2 for this first one and use H1 for this, which is the bigger one. Then I now use for the paragraph, the smaller item, I used paragraph for that. Then for the button, like I explained earlier tonight, button tag by default shows that the content here is going to be clickable and is a button. That's the work of this button type. So the button element represents a button labeled by its content. So which is what we have on the hero section, which we have the left and the right section. So that is just what we have there. I'll close it. Now, like I said, looking at this thing, I use section. The reason why I use section is so that once I see a section tag, I know that I'm already on another section. So going down to this other side, workout programs, I open it. I had I had something on the top side. I had something like pre-workout programs, which was looking like a title for that section. Then I now had a section that contained 5 different cards. So what I did, I had to label it.
So I had to label it this way. I did one. This is the card 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is content inside the parent div. So now, because of for proper arrangement, I had to separate this, do this way, and give one. So inside the parent div, and I created card one, which is the first card, card two, card three, card four, and card five. So for the first one, I divided it also into two because we had an image and a write-up. Then we also had a button below it. So we see that the image and the write-up was on its own, and we also had the button on its own, but they were inside the same box. So I had to add them inside the same box. The same thing goes to these five other divs. That was the same thing I did. I arranged it the same way. Put it. These are the two different the image with the write up plus your button. This is this one two that you have here. So I'm housing it in the root. So that was how I separated it, looking at what we have on the layout. Then the next thing goes down to this section too. In this section, because we had a top side that looks like a title where we had to get your mesh. And now, what happened there is that if you look closely, this section, I first separated this section by two. The first one is the top side of the section and the bottom side of the section. Now, on the first type of the section, you have the left and the right. On the left side, you have get your our mails. Then on the right side, you had view all products. Then that was the top side. For the down side, you now had where you had four different images with the name. That's where you have your bag, your t-shirt, your shirts, and your bottom. So now that was why the layout prompts what how you are supposed to arrange your work. So, but if you don't arrange your work properly, what will happen is this: when you want to add CSS to it, you run into issues, and you need to first know how to structure your layout. That was why the assignment. What that was what prompted the assignment of come on, looking at the layout you have. How will you design it? Now, give me a rough sketch of a wireframe of what you will do. So just give a write up. Okay. The first thing I have is my navigation. You just write navigation. Number one, navigation. Number two is hero section. Number three is get our mail. Okay. Number three is workout programs. Number four, get our mesh. Number five is gallery. Number six is recipes. Number seven is contact us. Number eight is footer. Okay. Now these are the seven. So if you were asked to, if you are working on with a company or a brand, and you are asked to break down your tasks, this is how you break down your tasks. The same way that you are doing the layout. Okay, if the task one is the header section, task two, hero section, task three, workout programs, task four, get our merge, task five, gallery, task six, recipes, task seven, contact us, task eight, footer. That's you have broken down your tasks into 8 different tasks. Now you just do your work. Now that's how if you're working with companies, that's what the first thing you are meant to do. They ask you to upload your tax on the whatever platform they are using to manage their work, whether on Google Sheets or on Trello or Git projects, whatever. You have to upload your tax. This is how to break down your tax. Looking at your layout, you can only break down your tax from the layout too. Looking at what are the sections I have in mind? How many sections do I have in this layout? You okay, this is going to be tax one, tax two, tax three. That's what you're just supposed to do. With that, once you're able to break down your tax, you already know what to do next. The next thing is to okay, in section one, in your my tax one, which is the header, how many other sections, how many divisions do I have inside this section? You now check. Okay, I have one, I have left and right. Okay, I have two, that's left and right. Now, inside the left side, how many is there? I'll now check one, two, three. Okay, I have three contents. I have, okay, now that's for that. This is for this. Okay. Now, you see, you are breaking down the whole thing. So, with this, you don't run into issues and you find your way around it. That's how developments are being done. I don't know, do anybody have a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Emanuela, go ahead.
So I saw how the code was on, like the H1, after the H1 in one of the divs there, after the H1, sorry, in the header, sorry,
Okay.
that's the nav, under the nav, the H1, after the H1 we had the UL stack. So I was thinking, would it be okay if we actually wrapped the H1 in a div?
In a div.
Yes, since div is division and the two of them are two separate things, the logo is on the other side, the UL is on the
Sure,
other side.
you could. You could. I could do something like this and copy this, put here. So what I will now do is coming here, I will say something like uh, logo, and here I could do something like navigation. Do you understand that now?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Who else has a question? Who else has a question or contribution? Or do you have any challenge?
So I'm having a challenge with making use of the extensions.
Okay. Which of the extension is that?
The live server. I've
Okay.
I've already installed the extension, but I don't know how to make use of it.
Okay. All right. So watch closely. This is my code. If you go to the bottom part of your, can you see where you see click to run live server? You see go live. Can you see that button?
No, sir, I watched the YouTube video. That is the same thing they said, but I can't even see where they said run with live server.
So now on the bottom part of your code, you are going to see where you have line, where shows the line of your code, where you have line 13 column. Can you share your, are you with your system?
No, my system is down. Is not on now. I'm using my
Okay,
phone.
all right. We are supposed to use your system. You would have shared your screen, and now if you come to the bottom part of your PS code, you will see on the bottom part, you see your line. That's the line, the actual line that you're working on, the current line that you're working on. It shows there. Then you have your space. Then there's UTF-8, select encoding. Then you now have the type of language mode. This is the language that you're working on. By default, any language you say with this does whatever you put here, that's what shows here by default. So if I click on this, I can change, okay, that this document is a Java. If I change it, it will not be, VS Code will treat this document as a Java. So I will change it back to HTML. So on the right hand side here, you have your go live. So once I click on this go live, you see the folder, open folder on the workspace. So is this the challenge you are having? Open folder on the workspace.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you are supposed to do is to add, first you need to add this folder to your workspace. So what I'm going to do is come to this place, open folder. Once I click on this, I add this folder to my workspace. So now, all right, let's do it this way. Open a folder, click here and open. So I've opened this folder, right? Then I'll click on go live again. Okay, let's do it this way. Add folder to workspace. Click on it. The folder, sorry, let's go down. This is my desktop. This is the folder. I add folder to the workspace. Now I have this folder now. Did you see what I did?
Yes, I saw what you did. I saw what you did.
Okay, I've added the folder now to the workspace. So now, if I click on this again, it has started loading, then it opens up. Do you understand that?
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So if you encounter any other problem, you reach out, you just drop it on the Telegram group and you'll be attended to. You, when you want to do that, you just screenshot your error and send to the group and you'll be attended to. Thank you so much. So do we have any other question? Any other question? Okay, I'm going to ask my own question. Since there is no question. All right, Judith, go ahead with your question.
No, sorry, I don't have a question. I've been struggling to get in. It was a mistake.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I have a yes. The question is about the comment element. Like understand that
Comments.
opening tag
Comments.
comments element. Yes.
Not, all right. Comment is not.
Like,
You don't say comment element. Just a comment.
okay.
So the
Okay.
okay, you want to, how it works.
Like what's the use of the comments?
What is the use of a comment? And
Yeah.
okay, now
The comment, I saw it's not showing in the live server if you open with live server.
on the browser, and it's
Yes.
so now comments does not show on. Let's add a new comment. Comment does not show on the website. This is just to show for proper documentation and readability of your code. Use comment for proper readability of your code. Now, if you come into this code, I have 250 lines of code here, and I ask you to do this. Okay, that I need you to go to the I need you to delete the bottom where I added the image for the box. I want you to work on that. Now, without comments, you will find it hard to know which section is actually where you are supposed to get where you have an image of a button. So this is just to show you, give you proper readability of this thing. You know that anything content inside this section is has to do with the gallery section. Anything content here is get our merge. Anything content in this section is workout program. Anything content here is hero section. Now, if you want to debug, you want to check out something on the gallery section, you don't need to start opening this other section. You just go straight to this section that have gallery, open it and edit it. Do you understand? That's why you use comment. Comment is used for readability. So if I could say something like,
Yes, I understand.
yes, just to show that, okay, I can say, let's go back to this place. So the reason why we are using, okay, let's say that, okay, let's talk about the gallery. Now I'm using, let me comment that we used image word, we used the word image because we don't know how to add an image. Yes. Do you understand that? So now, with that, once you visit this, if I send you this thing, you know that why am I seeing image, 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 image. Now, this comment just helps you to know that the reason why we are using this is that image is supposed to be here, but we can't use it. We didn't add an image because we don't know how to add it yet. Do you understand the reason for comments now?
Yes, I understand. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you so much. Any other question? Any other question? Or should I proceed with my own question?
Yes.
It's like there's a question in the chat box.
Okay, okay. I just saw that. Said, okay, Martha said, please, when you opened the code on your browser, I saw the login and etc being displayed on red. But from my code here, is not displayed on, it is not displayed on my browser. Okay, okay, let's see. So now, different browser. Okay, let me just, so that you could answer this by yourself. Okay, this is my Chrome. Opening a new tab and sending it and launch. This is this. I'm coming down to opening Firefox and launch. Now, different browsers have the way they display things. So here on your link here, this by default, your anchor link, that's your A tag, has a default styling. Just like now, your UL link, your UL on other links has a default styling, which is having this dots here. So this is the default styling for links when you are working with UL. That's on other list. You have your buttons. You have your bullets. So now links. So when I visit this, links has by default has an arrangement, has a style of having a color. So when you visit the link, it changes to blue most at times. When you click on it, once you visit it, it changes the color to blue. So these are default behavior of these elements. Some elements have unique behaviors, just like your button. Now your button just made this clickable, and you see the design, it has a button-like shape by default without even adding any CSS. So that's how your button works. That's the default styling of your button without even doing anything. You just have it there. So, okay, I'm not supposed to teach this now. I'm not supposed to do this now. I think doing it now. So we have what we call. I want to bring out my inspector. You are supposed to actually learn it during CSS. So now I want to show you something about this. This is what we have now on our layout. This is our logo. This section, this is the parent div, that's the section that we have. Then this is our logo. Then this other part is the other side, that's the right side. Then we have this part, that is the left hand side, and we have the right hand side. See how the div rearranged it, and it shows that this is a div. So we'll be looking at this inspector. This is everything you have for your code. Think this is your header section. This is hero section. This is your workout programs. So if I scroll off, this is workout programs, which is arranged just like your div. So the reason why you do this arrangement, if you align your work very well, you're able to see how it looks like. So this is our left hand side, then this the right hand side. So now we have not actually added, CSS, but this is, we already have everything we're supposed to have now. We have added everything, and some things did by default. Now, one behavior we note here is that most of the elements that we use are block level elements. What do I mean? Block level elements. You see that almost all are stacking themselves under. You see that you could say that almost everything that we used here are block level elements. From the top to the least of it are block level elements. None of them are taking the flow of document. They are all stacking themselves under. So because of, we are separating them by divs and hedge 1 to hedge 6, and those elements that we use were block level elements. That's why you are seeing this behavior this way. Again, that's one thing you have noted from what we have done so far. They are all stacking. The behaviors here is that they are stacking themselves on that. They are behaving, they are displaying the behavior of a block level element, which shows that they are all block level elements. Now, I'm explaining this because I'm likely going to give an assignment on this, so that you could look at so far the results you have on your browser. What behaviors do you observe? Then two, some elements have default styles, just like your button has a style. When you add, take your mouse on top, you see that it goes darker. There's a reaction when you hover your mouse there. That's one thing, it's called hover. When you hover your mouse on the button, there's a slight change in the background. That's another behavior that we have. Then on the links, we notice that the anchor link has a different color. These are three different notable things to note what we have, and four, everything is taking a block level behavior because they are all block level elements. Now, back to the question, says on the login, okay, the color. So Martha, you have to check your code very well. If you check your code, you will see that if you check your code, you know that either you have a mistake in the anchor tags. That's why you are not having a color. Because it's supposed to, by default, display a color for you. Because anchor tag has a behavior by default. So you are also knows that if you are doing it properly, you have your A tag with your href, your href attributes, then with your name. If you have this in your system, in your code, you should have the same result that I have. Then that being said, do any other person have any question before I give another assignment? This class is supposed to be a discussion class. So what we have done so far, the challenges we have. So I'm going to ask my question, and all right. That's being said, we are all clarified with what I'm going to ask Rita. Rita, unmute yourself, unmute your mic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, evening. So how can I add a comment?
Okay.
How can I add a comment? And why am I supposed? Why is it important to add comments?
Okay. It's important because it makes your code more readable and more accessible by you and anyone. And also how to add the what's it called? The comment is by you can highlight a text and press Shift Alt and letter A, or you press the normal thing.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so please, let's see. Sinaida, do you have a question?
No, I just want to give why we add a comment to a code.
Okay, go ahead.
A comment is important to write it in a code because it gives a detailed analysis lines frame, a step-by-step analysis of set in the code, and it gives a clear understanding of what to do next. So it gives an main architectural design of what the code is talking about.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask. Okay. Okay. Which this question goes to Stephanie. Stephanie. Stephanie, can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
I can hear you, so.